there was one time when a prospect called to ask about my service offerings and my rates. Now this is very common, especially for people who don't know me or have not been referred by a client. So I told him that to do the video that he's asking me to do, right, I'm going to charge like $1,800. Now I could almost hear his jaw drop from the other end of the line. Then after a few seconds of silence, right, he told me this: "Wow, Colin, your rate is $1,800 for doing a video just like this one? You know other vendors are charging how much or not? Can you please justify why you are charging like 3 times what others are charging?" Now I continue this story later. But first, in this last episode of this series, I must announce that my business is dying. Yes, and so will yours, if we keep doing this one thing that's related to the story I told just now. And nope, I'm not talking about Facebook, the metaverse, or AI. I've discussed about those in the previous few episodes already. It's something else that you and I are very susceptible to doing, especially if you are a small business owner like myself. Hey, I'm Defender Colin, and this is the last episode of My Thoughts Season 3. So let's continue that story. Now, that prospect was asking me to justify how I was charging 3 times what my competitors are charging. I'm not joking, and that's literally what he said, right? Can you justify? So naturally, I gave my reason along the lines that the way we do video is very individualized, that we conceive an original storyline from scratch, we shoot with a crew of at least 4 persons, and we edit differently than the mainstream video companies that use templates. Now, I almost wanted to say to him, actually bro, it's not that I'm 3 times more expensive than my competition. It's that they are cheap. But I withheld that because it wasn't professional to say such a thing. So what is that one thing that is causing my business and probably your business too to die? Now I'm talking about the cheap prices of services and products that are in the market today. So here's the thing. You and I, we are both consumers. We buy things to use, to eat, to play with, to keep, and to experience. But oftentimes, right, our buying decision comes down to just one criteria: price. Now, if you are buying that jacket, you probably are looking for the cheapest seller on Shopee. And if you are hailing a ride home, right, you probably are comparing among the apps to get the cheapest amongst maybe Grab, Gojek, and Zik. And if you are buying an air ticket to Phuket, right, I'm quite sure you research for 4 hours on like 20 sites to get the cheapest price. Now, honestly, I'm guilty in this too. When I was buying my camera gear for my company, right, I would check out like all the sellers in Lazada, Shopee, and even resort to calling several camera shops to compare the price first. Then after a few days of like making sure I got the best deal, then I'll commit. But you know what's the problem? Well, you probably know that I'm going to say that, well, the effort far outweighs the money saved, right? True, sometimes for maybe like a $99 product, my savings come up to only be like $3, and frankly, I think that's time wasted. But oftentimes, I can save up to maybe $400+ from the SRP of $4,899 for camera body. If I did my research correctly and carefully, and I bought it at the right time and at the right place. And that's a lot of dollars saved. And besides, for many of us whose income isn't, in the 5 figures, right, saving every single dollar goes a long way too. So no, wasting time isn't really the problem. The real problem is this: we are invariably contributing to the death of businesses. Now let me explain with an example, a real life case study that happened to my business. Now it was the year 2015 when my business first started operations, and it was then when we also started charging clients for the first time for our digital marketing services. Yes, we charge a measly upfront fee at that time, but our revenue or profit sharing model, right, we can go up to like 30%. So it's not unusual that we were paid maybe 4K or more per month per client during the good months. And as we produce more results, right, we increase our upfront fee to the several thousands, which is a price that I think justify for our service. So this went on from 2015 until around 2017. Now at that year, more and more digital marketing agencies started popping up, and with increased competition, well, rates would invariably get lower. And by around 2019, I discovered I was priced out of the market for almost all my clients. They would move on to cheaper vendors, even though I knew I delivered quality work and good enough results. And with the increased competition and like cheaper prices came another phenomenon: lower quality. Now ask any small business owner or self-employed about the leads that they got through social media, and maybe 9 out of 10 will tell you that the quality of leads they were getting since around 2019 had become so bad that maybe 1 in 20, maybe even like 1 in 40 is a real lead. The others are all fake. So vendors who charge cheap but have to still deliver like results, they started sharing leads. Some unscrupulous ones even started buying or creating fake leads for their clients so they could claim that their KPI was met. It got so bad that I found out several of my competitors, especially those who just started, right, are doing an entire lead generation funnel campaign. Not for $1,000, not for $500, not even $300. They did it for free. The way they made money was to charge for every lead obtained, and that explains why they created all the fake leads. So naturally, for those of us who have been in the market for a few years doing the real quality work, like shooting quality videos, paying for really good copywriter partners for the client's project, and putting in like maybe 40 to 60 hours building the landing page and email autoresponders, right? We were all badly hit, and clients and customers stopped paying. So even my video production business was greatly affected because of this price war. In 2020, right, I mean during the peak of COVID, production companies were lowering their prices from 1.5K per video down to just 1K, then $800, then to $600. I even heard from an ex-client who told me that she couldn't afford me anymore, and she jumped ship to another vendor who offered $300 videos. $300, you know. Now, if I did it at that rate, I'm losing money just shooting the video, never mind pre-production or post. And today, right, years after COVID, I still see competitors of mine. I mean, we are also Facebook friends. They are offering video shoots for property agents for free. Yes, free. My point is this: yes, there's no stopping any vendor, especially if you're just like starting out and you need to build a portfolio, from providing your service for free. But please don't go marketing your service as being professional. It is anything but professional, because you're just sheerly killing the industry. How professional is that? So today, right, the market price of a lead generation sales funnel project can cost as low as just $500. And there's no way near the break-even price for what professional and real agencies need to charge. And videos, right, they need to be around $600 before the self-employed market, particularly property agents, before they bite. So anything higher than $600, I need to justify my price, like in my earlier story. And in fact, today, my business is relying on corporate projects for profits, and I have to sell promotional packages for the self-employed market, and those just like barely scrape by at cost. So I implore that you, as a service provider, right, especially when you are unconfident with your services or products yet, don't ever give free. Just charge something. But when you have gotten your portfolio already, start becoming a professional and charge at your worth. Because if you continue to still offer at such crazy low prices, this price trap will just kill off all of us, slowly but surely. And yes, I promise your business will die along with us too. And one last thing, please don't ask me for discount when I'm already giving you a good rate for my video packages. I understand that you are a small business just starting out, but you have to understand that I am also running a small business too, right? Where I have to pay my staff their salaries, and believe it or not, also pay myself a salary. And if you can, right, don't patronize those mega production houses. Yes, they charge cheap, but they do templated work to justify that low price. And besides, there are hundreds of other clients buying from them already. So why not support a small business owner like me who individualize your video from start to finish, making your videos truly yours? I mean, it's like buying a Realme phone versus an iPhone, or a Perodua versus a Mercedes, or even like comparing holidaying like 1 week in Phuket versus 1 week in Europe. It's not an apple to apple comparison. I cannot go cheap because I have standards to upkeep and specs to meet. And at the very least, right, if you knew that there's something cheaper from another vendor, which, I mean, they always will be, just don't tell me that I am expensive, because the truth is, right, they are cheap. So if you can just support professional companies like mine, and truly will be grateful for your support. Anyway, I have digressed, and I think I have enough of a rant for the past 10 episodes, including this one. I tried to be as transparent as I could throughout the season, as per the previous two. But naturally, I probably will make some people unhappy with what I put out. But if you think otherwise, right, that I have shared, well, something that makes sense to you, I love to hear from you at the comments below. So meanwhile, do like this video and then subscribe to our channel for more great content in the future. So once again, I'm Defender Colin, and this has been My Thoughts Season 3.